way you want it, then I will do mine and get mine the way I want it.
Exactly. It's all done. The last time it didn't work perfectly, that's for
No,
sure. But
it's
here
because
we
it
are.
just asked me, it says, do you want to stop recording to the cloud?
Yeah. No, it is recording to whatever you said because I asked it to record to the cloud for myself too. So
Right,
it
but
should
I
be doing whatever because you're a co-host and you can record in whatever way. Anyway, uh, Travis, we welcome you once again. Oh, man, you've been here now about 3 months at least, huh? And
Oh
we
my
keep
point.
we keep getting a little deeper in these encounters, and I would say that a lot of people are just marveled by the amount of depth that's coming through you. Now, you were not able to define what was going to happen here today, but you know that is there's some surprise because So anyway,
Yeah,
we're gonna
the
let you.
surprise.
Yeah, we're gonna let you connect to whatever wants to come through, and we're here available for you afterwards to ask a few questions. So it's all yours, Travis.
Okay, everyone. Uh, hello, hello, hello. It's been a while since I've even been channeling through this channel. I surprised with the idea of the frequency for its the channel understand things from a scientific point of view, so we'll just give it this way. Through through what Cheryl said, the connection allows the neural allows the connection to transfer thought to thought, synchronizing our thoughts together. So we're saying that in order to do this, be at one with yourself and be at one with your mind, your heart, and your body as one. And then the neural connection can manifest in a more cohesive and integrated direction. I, as a universal translator, have have decided to relay this mm, for an important message, not just from me, but from working with my siblings as well. And you will focus on more of the heart and then connect the heart to the brain. And then that brain allows you to transfer the neural connection to the entire body. And then you can generate that frequency. And that's how a more cohesive telepathic connection and communication works. We thank you for letting us speak about this, and we would like to leave this as a short introduction because I only had some bit to share, but this was very, very important so you understand the mechanics of how these processes work between extraterrestrial channeling and telepathic communication connected to the brain and the heart and the body as well. along with the soul as well. It's all connection, but it always connects. But the brain, the heart, the body are part of physical connections, while the soul is non-physical. Okay, we open this door to questions and answers. You may begin as you like.
Thank you very much for gracing us with your presence and being available as a resource for us and for that message. I am curious about the entities which are going to be involved in open contact and the ascension of humanity. Are they all telepathic and telepathic with each other?
Yes, we are telepathic. Their beings connected to the open contact are intertwined with this, and that's why the vibrations that ETs emit opens up neural pathways that allow you to connect to more more of that state that allows you to connect with them telepathically.
Now, now, where does our DNA fit in that as opposed to or in addition to the neural network?
Then, as I said, the neural network is connected to the is not just connected to the brain, it's connected to the body as well, which allows you to connect to the DNA of your own body.
Okay, so as our DNA strands are awakened, are changed into their crystalline form, then naturally our physical body and including our neural network will be upgraded as well.
Yes, it's more of an upgrade to this. There, there is possibilities, but these are dependent on who's ready for this style of communication. But the those exposed with us directly will experience this change more readily. Those who need more time will be more, it'll be more of a vocal communication.
Okay, I appreciate that. Thank you.
We thank you for allowing us to answer that.
So, can you tell us a little bit better about the open contact sequence of events as currently they seem to be
The open
unfolding?
context sequence of events you're talking about?
Yes, when open contact begins.
Well, besides the fact that it's more gonna be an integral process with more sightings of our craft.
So, clear sightings of the craft
Yes,
worldwide with some frequency, I would imagine.
yes, there will
Does
be
it
more. The thing is 20 through 2026. When there's a buildup, by that by the time we introduce ourselves, just about everyone will eventually have seen the craft in one way, shape, or form.
so once we have gone through that process of seeing at large the crafts or a craft, and
Well, there
the
will be
next
multiple. Yeah,
of course the next phase, that's why I said like a sequence, the next phase of it will happen in what way?
it'll be more of revelations of us working with you. The third phase will most likely be the introductory phase of the ETs themselves.
And that will happen at large, or more personally, or both?
It will be this and that. It'll be both, but there also but also the open contact will happen once we're introduced. It'll also be easier because the planet will become more open to our presence.
I see. Vibrationally open, more open to your presence. I
Yes.
yield.
Right.
I yield to Christiana.
Thank you. Hello, and thank you for the co-creation. I was wondering, because the Sing of Crafts was mentioned, so could you tell us, like when we see a craft and we wave, for example, so what happens on your end, like inside the ship? Could you tell us what is going on at that time?
We can, well, it's more, we have, we do observe through windows as well as we also observe through more of computers and also holographic terminals that allow us to observe you guys on the ground, but we also can feel the interaction between the energy. So basically, we can also go by the sensing of it rather than the physical technology of it.
Thank you.
Ray, please.
I was going to wait for after David, but now other than or before open contact occurs on a global basis, what will there be other forms of communication before that? Like maybe videos or radio, or I mean, other than telepathic communications with the individuals who are on the earth and already connected with them. But will they be making any press conferences from a ship or anything like that, or urging other governments to say, we've been in contact with them and this is what's happening?
All that is being planned and more, but that seems like a lot to ask for us moving into these phases. We can't reveal ourselves straight up right away, otherwise they'll give away our everything that has been set in motion.
Yes. I was just curious to see if there was any more information that was leading up to that contact event, any other communication which you might be able to share, or, I'm not exactly looking
Probably more connections within an altered waking / sleeping state where you can actually have more readily contact with us in an altered state. So
Okay,
there will be physical, but it won't be the same physicality that will happen during the introductions.
okay, and there will also be group dream state contacts as well during this time, correct?
Yes.
Thank you.
Usually for more openness, only
Excellent.
for those who are more ready and open, but yes.
More to look forward to. We'll work forward to experiencing that. Thank you very much, Akasha.
David, please.
Yes, hi. I'm curious, which species is going to be coming forward, or is it multiple species?
Hybrids and most likely my own. Mostly the ones that are close to you and the ones that have been working directly with your governments and other forms of companies and of technology.
Okay, thank you.
So when you say that some of the ones that are going to step forward are some of the ones that are working with governments on Earth, how
Well,
is that? How
it,
is that? Yeah, how is that
wait,
going to be done from the perspective of the governments?
well, have you ever noticed that some of them have been closed off on purpose, some way, shape, or form? There's been some information being kept from the surface government in secret so it can be revealed at the right time.
Oh, so there are layers in the structures of governments, deeper layers, let's put it that way, that are the ones that have this contact and
Yes,
will
if you ever,
allow that to be shown that they have had it. And of course, the
yeah.
uh,
I mean, you already should be aware of this for it's already been mentioned by other channelers.
so I have a little question because I remember as I was a kid in the 60s, there was mass sightings of what appear to be spaceships, UFOs back then, as I would call them, massively around the world in the span of a couple of weeks. Question is, was that kind of like a trial run, so to speak, to see where humanity was vibrationally?
That was for it was mostly to get your attention, so at least it'll keep the conversation of ETs and the possibility of visitations open, even though your governments have kept it closed.
So it was clear that the governments were trying to keep it close back then. There was a lot of explanations about weather balloons and helicopters that were doing whatever, and that
Yes,
in the distance appear to be, all that kind of stuff. But the
but
sightings were massive. It was in the news throughout the world. It was just
that was to keep the conversation open.
okay. Thank you, Mr. Ray, please.
Thank you for handling such a wide variety of questions. And I'm curious as to what role the cetaceans will have in open contact, as well as the Mayans.
Okay, based on my channel's memory, he's aware of the Mayans, but not the cetaceans. So I'm not able to gather information from the channel's memory.
Okay. Well, the cetaceans are whales and dolphins.
Oh,
Those
well, the
species.
channel. Well, the channel is not really well versed in this type of in that wording probably, but I'll just make note in the channel's mind so he can keep that in his mind.
Well, Akasha, do you have any information on whales and dolphins being involved in open contact? Because I know they're already having telepathic contact and they always have.
Yes, we know that. We're aware. They communicate with Sirius, but but when we have gotten close to them, we have communicated with them before.
Okay. So that's more of like an as needed thing?
They are part of the contact because they're the other intelligent species on your planet.
Okay. Thank you.
As they're going to be the open, they're going to help you. For it's going to be like having your own your own alien terrestrial guides. They're not extraterrestrial, but they are, but they are alien to you.
And they are going to be helping our connecting with us through AI translators at first too, correct?
Yes, and some of this has already been done, as you've seen that some people use these things for dolphins to translate their echolocations to local language.
Excellent. Now that when we can translate them to pictorial languages, then we'll really be making progress. Thank you so
Yes,
much for that verification.
David.
Are there man-made spacecraft that is disguised as extraterrestrial? And do they have a base on the moon?
Depending on that, as there are man-made craft, but reverse engineered craft, which has already been well known and documented, and there's
Uh-huh.
also been recovered craft that have been used not to the best of the ability, but probably perhaps more of a psionic, the more more of people who train psychically to utilize to fly recovered craft.
Okay.
So there have been utilizations of man-made, reverse engineered, and all. So all we can say is it's all of the above. For there have been multiple sightings of those type of craft.
Yeah.
That's why there's been some controversy behind the Tic Tac craft as well.
So what if they appear at the same time as the other craft? How would we distinguish?
Well, I'll give you an example. For Tic Tac craft, they have attachments to them that for the human ones. For the pirates, they have their hull is clean of any surface area. It's like the shape of the craft has no surface area. You just basically see a giant white Tic Tac flying, and that's dependent. So you can observe what attachments it has on the craft and see which one is man-made, which one is extraterrestrial.
Got it. Thank you.
Does this technologies that humans have used to create some spacecrafts has been used in any way to reshape the control or manipulation
There's
of,
been a
yeah,
control manipulation. There's been attempts, but not to the scale because usually these attempts end up failing in the end.
is that because there's been interference from the
There's been
ETs at
interference
large?
from there's been interference from a variety of races, possibly our own. For extraterrestrials have interfered with your nuclear, but they also, depending on the ones behind the scenes, have also prevented any catastrophic devastation to your civilization.
And that was at sometimes relatively a frequent occurrence, the need for interference.
It's only it's only when it's needed, not when you ask, but when it's needed. We know when it's needed. For we
Uh,
also read the energy on your planet.
Understand. So my question would be, I rephrase it, and it would be about how many times approximately has it been needed?
I mean, well,
Are we talking about 5 times or 20, 100, just the scale of it?
perhaps 5 to 10, maybe 15. We don't really keep track of how many times it's been done because each race has done their own. Some races have done it differently than others.
Has the open contact that is forthcoming, uh, I would assume that one of the things that is very well planned out is how to neutralize any response from any government or entity that has the ability to try to interfere with it. Is that correct? And to what extent you can add anything to the team that I just opened up?
Everything's going according to plan. So
Okay, thank you. Ray, please.
And thank you once again. I'm curious now. I know that everyone here is aware of the phrase humans call timelines, although it's not really a time and it's not really a line. But how many different Earth contact timelines are you in contact with, if that can be answered?
at the moment, 3, given or take, but it also depends on the timelines that are going to contact. They're also, depending on the vibration and frequency, it could be less or more.
Okay, thank you. And I have one other question, if I can. Um, what type of housing will the hybrid children need? Is there anything that we need to do special for them other than listen to what they're telling us?
You may already know this answer. For the fact is that there will be some guides there to also assist with this housing as well. If you want to talk about housing, why don't you ask our children? But for this, it's only gonna involve a combination of the natural environment and crystalline dome-like structure. That's all we're gonna say right now.
Okay, yeah, because I just didn't have the impression that most human structures as we currently live in them would be suitable, especially in the city areas, because those do not have as much of a natural energy connection to them that it vibrates higher, I think, than the city elements.
That's why we on our planet use more crystalline structures, for it's made into specific areas that does not harm the environment.
We're learning, we're getting there, Akasha. Thank you very much for your help in trying to get us
And
there.
we know that we're only just sharing to give you information on how we do things.
Excellent.
I want to take a couple of minutes to go back into my past experiences and the fact that in daytime I have actually seen spacecraft, and at nighttime, uh, at distance, they appeared like stars, but they were not stars, and I telepathically sort of asked for confirmation, and it was given to me in a very stark fashion and repeatedly, more than once. Uh, anyway, so the one I saw in daytime, large over the center of a city, partially covered by clouds, but definitely allowing itself to be seen by me, not at random. I have been sort of empathically trying to communicate with and requesting the appearance of a spacecraft in that particular environment. And so the question is, if you could tell me what race I have actually experienced in these two kinds of incidences that I have had. The first one, daytime, over a city, and the second one, nighttime. Again, generally speaking, over a city, uh, in what appeared to be meteor showers that were not really meteor showers.
This is mostly a form of a celestial style to ratio connected to tall whites and there is some serious in that connection as well.
The daytime over the city, serious, perhaps.
Perhaps, perhaps
Okay.
it also depends. Usually the tall whites prefer a more nighttime approach when it comes to introducing them.
Yeah. Interesting to me was that they were completely reading me instantaneously, for that matter, became apparent. And it was one of the first times that I knew I was actually having communication that was clear. And when I asked for the events to be repeated for me, I only had to wait like 5 or 6 minutes, and they were repeated. Thank you. Anybody else has any questions or comments and explorations of what's coming or what has happened in your experience?
I am just very grateful to have this opportunity to get this kind of information and ask these questions. It's just a delight. Thank you.
We
Akasha,
thank you as well.
do you have any information for us, maybe from yourself or maybe from your sibling?
Well, I already gave you information from my siblings as a introduct as the as
Yes. Oh, I meant another message, perhaps.
Mm,
Like, or do you guys practice heart-mind coherence and blend that and align that with your non-physical portions as well?
we aligned every aspect of ourselves with ourselves.
Okay.
So in a way, the heart mind coherence, we're already connected through our heart, through our mind, through our body, through our soul. All aspects of ourselves are in that state, allowing us to at least have a more tangibility with our physical form.
Excellent. That's what we're striving for. So thank you for being a good example and trying to get us there. Appreciate it, Akash.
Mm-hmm.
So let me make another round. Anybody that has a question or a comment is welcome too. Okay. So thank you, Travis. Thank you, Akasha.
How have you been pronouncing our name for
Yeah.
one Akasa,
Akasa. Thank, thank you.
AKASA?
Thank you, Akasa.
And we thank you. And this is the end, is it?
Well, it's always the end is always the beginning. Uh,
Yes, both ways, and this and that, end to beginning to end. It goes both ways, for time is eternal and all things are eternal.
Absolutely. And we're very happy to be
And
with
you can
you
call that your
today.
final message.
Very well.
Thanks, Akasa.
Thank you so much, Akasa.
Okay, you know what? Now my eyes are like.
Wow, you did very well, Travis. You came through loud and clear.
That was I think that went to more and more detail than I ever have before.
It went to a lot of detail, absolutely. And they were actually sharing some of the planning, so to speak, of how this open contact is going to start happening.
Oh,
And we
yeah.
went into a couple of layers of, of that sequences of that.
Good thing I could hear everything out there, even though all I was feeling was intense heat in my chest, like abnormally intense. Sometimes it was overwhelmingly intense. I don't know if that was more of her energy or what, but I still investigating. I do investigations at my own time. I have a more scientific minded, so that's why I'm able to channel them in a more fluent way because I'm able to mix the science and spirit in a way that actually sounds more in a logical, scientific way.
Yep. Well, Akasa mentioned that you could handle all of the scientific stuff that she's throwing out there. So,
Well, that's 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 because her that's because her they work together as siblings. One of the siblings, Cheryl, is a scientist, and the brother is say like a first contact specialist. While she is a universal translator who actually is profession in being able to utilize the telepathic abilities to the fullest extent she needs them to be.
Very powerful, you know. How are you feeling now, Travis?
Not tired, if that's what you're saying.
Yeah, that and what's happening with your heart. I mean, it's just coming into its
Well, it's
normality.
still warm. It's still warm. Like
I see. Okay.
some things throw me through a loop, probably because it was an intensity trying to work and to at least calm my anxiety down.
well, you came through loud and clear, and you had no issues. Well, I mean, your camera might have had a little issue. We didn't get to see you above the lip, but
Oh my god! Why didn't I?
Well, it's interesting. He
well,
talks
we just figured,
about his heart, and actually,
yeah,
that's kind of where we were seeing. You were seeing this, it's from about here.
Yes. Well, what? I guess you didn't. I guess you didn't need to see my eyes.
We couldn't even see your lips moving. So it was very centric to your general heart area, and maybe that's may have been another reason for the intensity because we were looking at you that way.
yeah, we're
Yes.
staring into your heart.
Yes, well, maybe that's the reason why somehow my camera decided to have itself in that position.
It all works out, right?
Yeah, well, I guess the message is to do with the heart for some reason,
I'd say.
and and you know the way that neural. I used the word neurological before with Cheryl. She connects it with Akasa just gave a more detail on how it works descriptively on a deeper level.
Well,
So in a way, she also gave a permission slip on how it works in tune with a certain level.
Some of the information that you gave today was really very high level information. I would say from the upper echelons that are in charge of open contact,
Yeah,
and really,
yeah. The more I the some I end up when I end up combining certain aspects, I end up getting more and more knowledge base. I didn't know what to expect with this one, but apparently it was more detailed.
yep.
it,
Akasa did us a favor. She
yeah,
did a good job.
it
You
it
too,
ex, it
Travis. Thank you.
expanded your involvement, I think, quite a bit, and you'll find some more of
Yeah,
that.
the
Yeah.
involvement as a well. I originally called myself a contact ambassador because the fact of me participating in this in my own way.
Yep. Well, we know that you really connect with enough entities as it is and may not be using the Pleiadian contact meditation, which is coming up shortly. But we're going to go ahead and close out this section unless anybody has anything else for Travis. And Luis, I will let you take your announcements on.
Yeah, well, we're going to have this in a few minutes. We'll take a 5-minute break. I already have transferred co-hosting to Isabel.